What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another great episode of the 321 Insurance Podcast. Today we have a super special guest. It is Lisa Lounsbury, President and CEO of the Big I New York. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning. Thanks for having me with you this morning.
No, thanks for joining. And then can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I've grown up in the insurance industry. My dad was an independent agent in Pennsylvania, where I grew up. My husband is an independent agent. I actually met him when we worked for a insurance carrier out of college. I have two kids. My daughter is a senior in high school. She's getting ready to leave the nest. My son is a freshman in high school, and he has wanted to get into insurance like his grandpa and his mom and his dad since he was probably 9. So we're one of those geeky insurance families. But we live in upstate New York outside of Syracuse, out in the country. We've got like a 30-acre little mini horse farm. I used to ride horses competitively growing up, but still just ride for fun. And yeah, we're a very active family. So it's great to be with you and tell you a little bit about myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. So for everyone that doesn't know how this podcast works, we are going to ask our guest, Lisa, 3 questions. Now, Lisa, you will have up to 1 minute to answer each one.
Are you ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
What is your greatest accomplishment in the insurance industry?
I think my greatest accomplishment, and I don't know if I would call it an accomplishment, I'd maybe call it my greatest honor, is actually leading Big I New York. So I've worked at the association since 1999 in various roles and had an incredible mentor that I worked with, Dick Poppy. Some of you may know Dick, and learned an awful lot from him. But I've also learned an incredible amount from our agent leaders as well. And this is just the Big I family is an incredible family. So it's really been, I think, an accomplishment, but an incredible honor to lead Big I New York. We led through a rebrand back in 2018. We've shifted and modernized a lot of our structure so that we can be much more relevant to agents in New York and continue to be your loudest cheerleaders and your strongest champions to make sure that you're successful. So I think that's my biggest accomplishment.
Yeah, no, thank you for leading such a great team and association. So I know there's many benefits of the Big I, but can you tell me or tell everyone what are the 3 biggest benefits of being a Big I member?
Great question. There are a million reasons why someone should join, but I have a minute, so I'm going to try and keep this to a minute. I think the number one reason and the biggest benefit to belonging, and this is not the most fun or the sexiest or even something that people love, but we have your back. So we have the back of our members in Albany. New York State is one of the most challenging states in the entire country for an insurance agent to operate in, with all of the complex regulations. I think this year during the COVID pandemic, with all of the governor's executive orders that came through, that triggered many emergency regulations throughout our Department of Financial Services. In Big I New York, one of the best things that we do is we advocate for our members with the regulators and with the legislators. So we translate, we simplify, and we make sure that your voice is heard in Albany. That's the biggest benefit. It's not always tangible, but you all are making a living in New York State, and you need to have someone and some voice that is making sure that your livelihood is protected. So I think that's probably one of the most important things. The second most important thing we do is we educate and we train people who are in the industry, whether they're new to the industry, they're seasoned veterans in the industry. This goes beyond continuing education. This goes into understanding, again, different topics that may be, coming up, whether it be, again, emergency regulations, understanding them, or just other new regulations and anything like that. We are constantly training and educating our members. I'm really proud of the fact that we just got approved to be a pre-licensing provider in New York State as well. So we started offering virtual pre-licensing classes at the end of 2020. And that is something that we're continuing this year. So that's awesome. And then I think the third thing would be our strategic initiatives are very relevant to members. The first is making sure that we have the right political voice in Albany. The second is focusing on talent development and recruitment. We know that one of the biggest pain points for our members is finding, keeping, and attracting great talent. And so this is something that we've made incredible strides across the state with high schools, community colleges, and we're just getting started. But we want everyone to know insurance is a very viable career. We've also woven in our diversity and inclusion tactics and focus into that. The third part of our strategic goal, so I'm really slipping 5 things in, so sorry, is our focus on helping our members with technology. So we just launched at the end of April, or the end of March, we announced a new company called Catalyt. And this is a collaboration with 6 other state associations and Steve Anderson. Catalyt will be launched to our members in third quarter 2021. It is going to be the go-to resource for any and all of your tech questions. Catalyt will do the homework for our members to help them make decisions on technology and make sure that they're making the right investments in their tech stack. So got 5 for 3, sorry.
There's so many, it's hard to keep it to 3.
Yes.
Okay, question number 3. What advice would you give a college student today that is considering a career in the insurance field?
I love this question. So I always say it's, that there's that Kevin Bacon, what is it, the 7 degrees or 7 links to Kevin Bacon or 6 links to Kevin Bacon. The insurance industry is so robust. It offers stability. It offers flexibility. It offers incredible income potential. And it's an industry that gives back. And I feel that those are all attributes that college students and young people are really looking for in a career. And I think a lot of people think that you have to study risk management to have a successful career in insurance, and that's far from the truth, especially on the independent agency side. I always say, give me someone that has a great work ethic, has grit, and we can train them on insurance. And so if you think about that, any major, communications, poli-sci, like anything, especially students that are struggling with what they want their career choice to be, they may not know, they should jump into insurance because chances are they will have the opportunity to apply their skills and interests to a job in insurance. And we all know that the jobs are changing in insurance. So what, 10 years ago was a traditional maybe customer service rep, that role is so different now and so important in an agency. So I think college students would find that the insurance industry really matches probably a lot of the values that they're looking for in an organization when they are looking to start their career.
That's awesome. I mean, thank you so much for coming on our podcast today. I want everyone to stay tuned for the next episode of the 321 Insurance Podcast. And I can't wait to see everyone. And thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Great job, Ashley and Craig. This is wonderful. You're doing it. Thanks.
Thank you.